Halloween season na! Ginost ka na ba? Hey friends, JD here, and for today's video, we're going to talk about the movies that I've watched during the Sinesindak 2024 for their 5th year. Woo! Yay! So this is actually SM's annual horror film festival kung saan pwede nyo mapanood yung mga horror movies na to for only 300 pesos. So for 300 pesos lang, meron ka ng all-in access for these movies. Or kung hindi mo naman gusto yun, or gusto mo lang ng isa-isa, okay lang din naman. It is only 150 pesos per movie. It's still cheaper than the usual na nasa 380 to 400 pesos na sine, di ba? Mahal lang mabuhay, Diyos ko. And it's actually a very fun experience. This is actually my first ever Sinesindak and I was so happy to do it. We've watched in SM North and mas okay doon actually for me because nakakita ako ng mga nagko-cosplay as well as mas maganda yung scheduling nila. And because of that, we were able to watch 4 movies. Yes! 4 movies. And it's actually fun to do that, honestly. Kasi lagi namin siya ginagawa every film festival kahit sa MMFF, Cinemalaya. But this time, we've done it to Sinesindak and I was so happy. I just love being in cinemas, honestly. So yun na nga. Going back, we've watched 4 movies. This Sinesindak, it is The Mads, House of Sayuri, Pasahero, and My Mother's Eye. And I am so excited to share my thoughts with you guys. I would like to share my reviews about the movies as well. And I will let you know if they are worth your time or may gana lang kayo sa kama nyo, kaysa tumayo pa kayo at manood ng sine para dito, ganon. Also, warning, this video will also have spoilers, so at least winarningan na kayo, diba? Kaysa naman hindi. So, yeah, let's begin. So, the first movie that we've watched is Mads by David Morio, and I had the great time watching this movie. It is a French movie about a birthday boy named Roman who picks up an injured girl on the way to his birthday party. And hindi niya in-expect na may nakakahawa itong sakit that will turn their night into a dark one. Out of all the lineup, this is the one that I am most excited of. Sobrang interesting kasi ng movie and how it was told as well. The movie was shot with no cuts, which means na isang take lang lahat ng movie na to. And I've never seen a movie like that before. This is the first time that I've watched something like this. Kasi kahit naman yung mga found footage film, kahit na mukha siyang one shot lang, hindi siya talaga one shot lang eh. Talagang may mga cuts ka pa rin Talagang may mga cuts ka pa rin sa mga batawag doon. Ang sinasabi ko? Ayun, para sa mga found footage film. My God. But this movie, isang take lang talaga siya and it was amazing. I had a great time watching this movie. I think the point ng movie kung bakit one take lang siya is for us to feel real time yung progression ng mga characters to insanity. Para kasama rin nila tayo real time for us with no time to breathe para abangan kung ano pa bang mga mangyayari sa kanila at sa world na tinitirhan nila. And I really loved it. And despite that, hindi pa rin nawawala yung mga shocking factor ng pelikula kahit na one take lang siya. And the body horror and the goriness of this movie, it's still there. And thanks to the actors were very consistent. They are great in this movie. Isipin nyo one take lang to, which means na hindi pwedeng mag-fuck up yung mga actors dito. And I think they deserve praises for that. Hindi yun biro ah. Also yun, shout out kay Ate Girl dahil sa kanya talaga ako natakot. Like, as in, iniisip ko nga kung gano'n lang katagal to sinut kasi kailangan maging perfect to with little to no flaws at all. Kasi kahit yung sa production side or yung mga crew, kailangan perfect din yung pagkaka-practice nila kung kailan nila ibubuhos yung mga dugo, gano'n. And yeah, everyone is great in this movie. The 3 main characters were all great and the story, how it progresses, it's an amazing movie. You should definitely watch this movie. Think of it as Happiness pero French and one take lang siya, gano'n. Honestly, simula pa lang yung pelikula, I was wondering kung paano na to mag-e-end. Paano ba mag-e-end tong pelikulang to? And I was happy how the movie ended. I think they've pulled off perfectly yung ending kung saan si Julia nagbe-breakdown na at nababalong na rin, which means na nahawa na siya ng sakit with the shot of chaos in her background. Nakasandal siya sa isang malaking window. Makita doon sa background yung shot ng mga bomba, shot ng mga police, tunog ng helicopter. It means that the world that they are in is currently in chaos and I loved it. I loved a good cliffhanger. I don't think it's a cliffhanger though, but I think it's an open ending more of that. Still, I had a great time for this one. This is a 4-star movie for me. So next namin pinanood is House of Sayuri, and what an interesting movie. It is a story about a family who moves into a house, but they discover that the house that they are living in is actually haunted by a murdered girl. At dahil dito, the girl hunts the family one by one. O diba, parang ang creepy ng pelikula, parang horror, na thriller, na patayan, na gore, ang creepy ng plot, interesting. But after ng movie, I was like, huh? Wait. What? Honestly, I think fault ko naman to because I was really expecting a serious horror movie, but then after the movie, I was just there staring at the ceiling, questioning my life decisions. Kasi after ng movie, doon ko lang sinerch kung sino yung director, and then I found out na yung director ng pelikulang to is director ng Sayako versus Tadako. And what the fuck am I expecting then? Alam mo yun, dapat sinerch ko na kung sino yung director nito, kasi kung hindi, sana hindi ako nag-expect, di ba? Diyos ko. Sa una kasi, akala mo serious horror siya na movie with this very generic jump scares that actually very made me bored. But then, the movie took an unexpected shift tone, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, sobrang WTF talaga ako after, promise. Like, you can tell sa reaction ko after na nag-enjoy ako. Promise. Like yung second part ng movie, naging kung fu siya na horror, na Jujutsu Kaisen, na hindi ko malaman kung ano naman genre nito. But this was directed by the guy who made Sadako versus Kayako. So, I shouldn't be surprised, di ba? But if you're expecting a serious horror kung saan gusto mong matakot, gusto mong magulat, at gusto mong manginig sa trauma, then this is not for you. Like, madi-disappoint ka lang, promise. Next! So, yung next namin pinanood is Pasahero, and my reaction was... oh, sorry. Nakatulog ako. I was really bored. Pasahero is about a group of passengers na sumakay sa isang tren, and they witness a crime in that train at pinanood lang nila ito at wala silang ginawa. That girl then decided to take her own life, and she started to hunt them one by one. Honestly, may maganda siyang concept. May concept siya about the people who chooses to stand by and be neutral against the oppressors, which is honestly a great topic to explore. Kasi nagpapakita rin yung movie ng mga real life cotton camps na mga krimen na kung saan yung mga tao sa paligid niya na pwede naman yun mapigilan, tumakbo lang or hinayaan lang na mangyari yun. That solidified the quote that they had at the very end of the movie, which is, if you are neutral in situation of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. And I love that for the movie, honestly. It is such a great topic to explore. However, the movie felt dragging for me. Alam mo yun, daming characters, tas lahat ng characters, merong mga jump scares isa-isa, tapos mananawa ka na lang talaga sa mga jump scares, ganun. Wala na talaga kasi pahingahan. Kasi lagi siyang may build up for jump scares. Like, for example, jump scare muna kay Bea. Pagkatapos ng jump scare kay Bea Benene, next cast naman. Tapos next ulit. Like, OA na siya, ganun. For me, they focus too much on jump scares and trying to scare the audiences, but then they've lost the story and they forgot to tell a story. Kaya kahit na ang daming characters, parang wala akong paki sa kanila, ganun. Kaya nga nung namamatay na sila, I was like, okay. Next, and I am so sorry, I have to be honest, but his acting, I have to mention that because it's very distracting, as in. Also, I still don't understand kung anong connect nung flashback sa mga nangyari. At the same time, para saan pa yung character ni Mark Anthony doon kung di naman sila magkakasama at the very end. Like, what? The movie has very good intentions, honestly, but I think they've executed it very poorly for me. The only good thing about the movie is the girls. It's Bea Benene and Yumi Garcia. They are the ones na binuhat ang pelikula, but the rest... Next, so last naming pinanood yung My Mother's Eye, and this is a very weird and insane movie. This is a psychological movie about a mother who lost her vision and her daughter who got paralyzed because of an accident. And then one day, may approach sa kanilang nagbibigay ng contact lenses that allows the mother to see, and it connects to a VR so her daughter can see kung anong nakikita ng nanay niya, making the two of them share one vision. And this movie is disturbing as fuck. For me, the movie is about the bond of the mother and daughter as they discovered that they are actually each other's soulmate by allowing themselves to see on each other's lenses. Because at the very start of the movie, akala mo close sila, but then before yung accident, it was revealed that the daughter can actually feel that her mother doesn't actually love her, that she feels that her mother regrets having her, in which hindi naman nagsalita yung nanay niya, neither confirming it nor denying it. What a mother. Then, because of these lenses, they figure out how to be with each other's lenses and how both of them are just lost human beings and needed each other. And that love saved them at the very end of the movie. In this movie, we will also witness a father na gumawa ng contact lenses na nagpabigay ng vision sa mother who actually lost their son and their connection. So, in order for them to connect again, in-invent niya tong contact lenses na to. In a way, binuhay niya ulit yung anak niya and control him and his decisions based sa mga regret niya. For me, there are two parents with a very different way of parenting and they are weird as fuck. Yung isang parent's about proving to her daughter how much she means to her and letting her know na siya ang mundo niya. While the other one's about a parent who's built in control and not letting go of his son by changing the way he grew his son and the decisions that he made. The way that the father thought that he should have done the first time around. And yes, ultimately, I think the movie is about regret and second chances, but in a very different and fucked up way and disturbing one. Like, very disturbing. Wow, ending. Woo! By the way, this is a slow burn movie, so if you're not into that, you might not enjoy this movie. But guys, trust the process. By the very end, it will get interesting by the very end of it. And I really enjoyed it. I really like this movie, honestly. So that's a wrap of our Cinesindak Experience 2024. Have you guys watched any of the movies that I've mentioned? And did you guys like it? Meron ba kayong mga napanood pang iba during the Cinesindak 2024? Let me know in the comment section below dahil hindi ko rin napanood lahat. I would love to know your thoughts about the movies. Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? I really want to know your thoughts. And let's have a healthy film discussion in the comment section below. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I'll see you friends on my next video. Bye! Also, you can follow me on my social media platforms.